I got healthy, got wealthy, and even got wise. That sweet Kangen water open up my eyes, satisfying for the body, gratifying for the mind. Kangen water for the rest of my life. Kangen water quenches your thirst. Kangen water feeds your soul. Kangen water inspiring your dreams. Kangen water for the rest of my life. Let's unify with Chiyu spirit. Kangen water will set you free. Let's unify with Chiyu spirit. Kangen water will set you free. Let's unify with Chiyu spirit. Let's follow Mr. O's philosophy. Look within, 'cause you wanna win. Join the Kangen Nation. Kangen Nation, we're everywhere. All around the world, water we share. Changing one life at a time. With compassion for mankind. Well, I love you so, you gotta know. Hope you don't mind me preaching.
Hey, sisters and brothers, I have a new sponsor, my friends Gary and Marilu from alkalinewatersogood.com. They are international Kangen water distributors. Kangen water is delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water technology. Enagic is a 56-year-old Japanese company with 40 offices in 23 countries, including an office in Manila and 8 offices in the U.S., and it is the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration machines in the world. Not only do these devices filter your tap water, but they also produce ionized alkaline and acidic waters through electrolysis. These waters can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, beauty, and cleaning. Can you imagine never buying bottled water again? The plastic in bottled water often contains BPA and other chemicals which are proven to be hazardous to your health. And how much fun is it lugging cases of it from the market, recycling it, and plastic is an environmental nightmare. According to Gary, it's also a great way to add an additional income stream. He's been selling machines for over 12 years internationally, and everyone needs the healthiest water in the world. So folks, if you have any questions about Kangen water, check out their website at alkalinewatersogood.com. That's alkalinewatersogood.com. Or you can email them at gary@garyballin.com. Gary Ballin with 2 L's.com.
You're listening to the Wolf's Den Radio Show. Talk.
Hey, sisters and brothers, this is WDRS Talk, the Wolf's Den Radio Show Talk with your host, Wolf Hemora. Thank you very much for joining me for another episode of this humble podcast of mine. And it's going to be a great episode, episode 19, another interview with a great singer, songwriter, musician, and all-around great guy, Mr. Chickoy Pura. Chickoy Pura is the vocalist, the lead vocalist and songwriter of The Jerks, a great Filipino rock band. And yeah, man, he is responsible for writing at least 2 rock anthems in the Philippines. So, and those songs are Sayaw sa Bubog and Rage. and also a song called Reklamo ng Reklamo, and my favorite song of the Jerks, Haligi ng Maynila. So it was a pleasure to talk with this guy, and I learned a lot about Filipino rock music history from him as well. And it's a great conversation about music, and we delve into politics as well. He's a great conversationalist and activist as well, and his music reflects that. And yeah, man, I always loved this music from the day that I first heard it on the radio, and it still stands up, man. And you're hearing it in the background right now. I don't play much music on the talk show, but for this one, you need to feel and hear the music of this man to really appreciate what he's done for Filipino rock music. So, without further ado, I have to conduct some business first. So please show your support to the show by just subscribing to YouTube. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel, and please give the episode a thumbs up, a like. All those things help, as you know. And please promote the show to your friends if they like the artists and personalities that I'm interviewing, and they don't know that the show exists. Please feel free to spread the love of WDRS Talk. And also, you can also check it out on Spotify, and please give it a follow on Spotify. And you can also make a donation to the show, and just click on the anchor link on the post that this episode is on. Just scroll down until you hit the anchor link. Hit the link, and there is a donation button there, and any amount is appreciated and will go to the production of the show, and maintenance of the equipment. And if I need new equipment, then I got the funds. So thank you in advance, and I really appreciate the support, people. So what else? Please support other Filipino podcasts out there. Paco's Place, Pinoy Rock Podcast, Pinoy Rock USA, by DJ Tulisan, and a host of others. So please do check out those podcasts online, and make it a habit to listen to podcasts, man. It's cool, man. It's fun to listen to conversations and exchange of ideas. So what else is up with everybody? Nothing much. Get vaccinated, man. When you can, when it's your turn, go do it. Don't think twice. Don't be scared. We're all good. I'm still here, man. So all I got was a sore arm. My patient, who was 85 years old, nothing. No symptoms whatsoever. So don't be scared. Take the vaccine. It will save your life. It will save your life. So, with that said, what else? I don't know, man. Take the vaccine. All right. Anyway, I got some new art from a friend of mine from Mexico. She's a great artist. I met her on a trip to Mexico 2 years ago, maybe. And her art is really cool, really trippy, psychedelic. So, my kind of style. So, check her out on Instagram, Roxissions, ROXISITIONS, Roxissions. Check out her art. And, hey, support the artist, man. All right, moving on. Let's get on with this show. So this is me and Chickoy Pura of the Jerks. Enjoy. Hello, Mr. Chickoy Pura. How are you doing?
I'm fine. I'm doing fine. Right now it's afternoon here in Manila.
In Manila, yeah. It's Sunday,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, Sunday.
And we were talking quickly before we started
Yeah.
that there's you mentioned that there's a surge happening in Manila. Is it in Manila? Are you referring to Manila or the whole country is surging?
Metro Manila. Metro Manila. I think there's also some surges in the provinces too, because they've decided to open the economy, and it's ill-advised as usual.
Yeah.
So this is the end result of that, and so it's every person to himself.
My gosh.
Yeah. He has to. Well, like us, we're trying to avoid going out because, especially me, I have some sort of a pre-existing condition, so
Right. Yeah.
it's dangerous outside.
It's very dangerous. My gosh.
Yeah. It's like you have to put on your armor when you go out,
Yeah.
like that, and then you
need
wash
you,
up.
you need a
after.
hazmat suit.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
And it's summer here, so
Oh yeah. My gosh.
yeah. It's very what you call that, contradictory.
Yeah. Is it starting to get hot? I say
Yes, it is.
it already is.
Yeah,
No more January weather.
no more.
So how was your holiday season? I mean, this is the first holiday I guess in our lifetime na there was nothing,
Yeah. It was really sad. People tried harder just to, like, what do you call that? Get the feel of the holidays, but
Yeah.
I guess it's good enough. I think for us, we just stayed home and prepare some special dinner.
Yeah. Did you
Nothing special, nothing fancy. I mean,
yeah, nothing fancy. Yeah. Same here. Yeah. It's because it's
Yeah.
just family,
yeah,
It's immediate family and you're pretty much familiar with everybody, so
yeah.
it's just another day. It's just another day. And
I know.
Yeah, and
Well,
it's,
it's really amazing that we were able to, for almost a year.
it's been a year for a lockdown.
It's been a year, yeah, and we were able to survive that, or at least get some life in this madness.
Yeah. Is this the most time you've ever spent with your family? Oh, do you have kids?
Yeah, I have one daughter.
Okay.
Yeah, she was the one fixing this whole thing.
Oh, okay. Thank you
Yeah,
very
yeah.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah, same.
her name is Raya,
Oh, Raya. Thank you,
and
Raya.
also Monette. But
Monette.
it's Raya is the one the one who's
She's the
techie.
techie.
Yeah.
You're not a techie. You're
No.
a musician.
Yeah, I just play,
You just play.
yeah, and talk and all that.
Yeah, I wanna talk about your political stuff too, because you're a very interesting person, sir. For and I only came to know about you when I think your demo was played in, was it a demo or was it the album already was played on LA 105?
I think it was just a demo.
It was just a demo. Was that the
Yeah,
first time that the Jerks music was released on the radio? Or was it?
I guess so. Yeah. No. There was a few songs at RJAM before, but it wasn't really good quality.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably NU 107 was NU. I think it's the recorded album already. Studio.
On NU. But
Yeah,
LA
on NU.
because LA 105 you were already being played, but it was still demo.
It probably was just a demo.
Oh, okay.
Some songs. We before the studio album, we had some compilation albums
Right.
that we have joined in with some other artists. And then we had this live album with Gary Granada
Uh-huh.
before the studio album was released. So it must have been any of those. Yeah.
Were you in any of those compilation albums that was sold in that store, that outdoor store, Comela? You remember that? I mean, it's still alive. I think.
I guess so. They have some of our. It was tapes before,
Yeah,
If
yeah.
you can
'Cause
remember, there were just tapes,
yeah,
cassette
it was
tapes.
just tapes. Because I would
Yeah,
when I would visit the store, and it's all outdoor stuff, right? Camping,
Yeah.
hiking stuff, and I would go to the counter, and there would be like smaller accessories, and then there would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
cassette tapes of these, with the big Anarchy A, and I'm
yeah.
like, what's that? And-
Along with side by side with the albums of Woods and all that.
yeah. So that was my first, and because I'm a late bloomer in the sense that I only discovered FM radio when I was in grade 7 or first. Yeah, grade 7. So that's already pretty late,
yeah.
Because when I was growing up, I'm the eldest, so my only influences are my parents.
Yeah.
And their music is Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, that era. So
Yeah. Okay.
that's the only music I would hear, and then sometimes the Beatles, the really popular Beatles, the early Beatles, not the acid
Yeah.
Beatles, not the LSD Beatles.
Yeah.
And then aside from that, I would just listen. I would overhear my grandmother listening to AM radio. Talk
Okay.
radio.
Talk radio.
Because my grandma my Lola was a political junkie, so she was always listening to Radio Veritas,
Paengyapot, something like that.
diba? And all of those.
Yeah. Veritas. Yeah.
So that was the radio that was the music, or the radio that I was exposed to. So when I got to 7th grade, and then my classmates were talking about radio, I'm like, what's radio? What are you talking about, radio? they go, radio, hello, music on the radio.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then I guess at that time 99.5 RT was the most popular one, and then WXB 102 was there.
Yeah.
And they told me to, okay, you get a radio. Do you have a radio in your room? I go, yeah. Okay, turn it on to the FM band,
Yeah.
and then you
FM.
go to these numbers, and then that's what I discovered radio, and I was, of course, life changing. Right? I mean, and then when and then a radio station like WXB is on the air, so you're listening to all this English music, English punk rock,
Yeah.
and it was mostly English. They weren't really playing American music on
Yeah.
XB, no?
Yeah. And it's their programming. I remember their ad. What do you call that? Their ads were like, "We are eclectic," because
Yeah.
sometimes they would play some Xavier Cugat music, like that.
Yeah, they were
And
eclectic.
some Kundiman
Uh-huh.
from way back and all that, and then they'd play Dead Boys or whatever, like Dead Kennedys and all
Dead
that. So
Kennedys.
it was really eclectic.
Yeah. When I moved here to the States, that term left of the dial. It's all
Yeah.
the independent stations, the 88.3, 88.1,
Yeah.
the really small, the left of the dial. And it's just
Yeah.
like that. It's the same programming. It's weird music and then mixed in with popular music. So that,
Yeah,
so that
I
you
heard of that in the States, right?
yeah. I mean, that's how bands like REM got popular, because
Yeah, it was.
they were,
I think they call that garage station, something like that.
or they also call it college radio.
Yeah,
But these days it's independent radio. So they all run on donations from the public.
okay. Wow, that's great, huh?
Yeah, because there's no corporation because then if there's a corporation involved, there's always a playlist. And
Yeah, and profit-oriented, business strategy and all that.
and then
Not just to
commercials.
sustain the whole project, the whole. It's like a music advocacy.
Yeah, yeah. It's very much music advocacy. It's like, and since there's no corporation controlling them with money, they can play whatever they want. And
That's great.
yeah. So it reminded me of, like, and then WXB is like this. It's
Yeah, and
I guess the people who started that station, they heard it, either maybe they heard it here in the States in the early 80s and they brought it there, the style.
yeah, I think XB was it was very makeshift setup, and it's like what do you call that? It was really impressive, and they have this their playlists were really really good, and people like when you're looking for something new, and then
Yeah.
suddenly they'll play it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
And then I remember in my room at the time, I had to. Their signal was so weak that you had to.
Yeah, I know.
I had to.
I
had
remember
to,
that.
You remember that? I had
Yeah,
to.
it's really, really noisy. It's all static.
It's all static, so I had to move my small radio around the room to find
Yeah.
a spot, and then I would leave it there. So it's in this weird. It's not on the dresser. It's not beside my my bed. It's in some weird
Usually end up
corner
in a
the room.
very weird position.
Yeah, yeah, but then looking back at that, it's like that's really, it's very it's very romantic in a way.
Yeah, it
You know
is.
what I mean? You have to search for the perfect spot for the frequency because you like the music that they're playing.
Like when punk rock was introduced, and I was introduced to it, punk rock music and all that, after listening to so much disco and so much commercial rock and all that,
Right.
pop rock, things like that. And then came punk rock and all that. And the only thing I can describe it is it was so electric. Like I was then just a folk singer. I play acoustic guitar and I sing Bob Dylan songs, Neil Young and all that, and
Right.
all those guys, old guys. And suddenly I was introduced to this kind of music. Actually, I have to credit Jun Lupito for asking me to join his band and listening
Yeah.
to all this.
Yeah,
all this,
yeah.
it was really aggressive and all that. And I said, I think I want to do this. So it all started in that, encounter with the music, and it was so electric.
What was the first? Did you hear it from a cassette or on the radio already?
Yeah, it's all cassette.
Okay,
It's all cassette. Yeah.
Because there's the legend, and of course it's a fact that
Yeah.
that Howlin' Dave first played the Sex Pistols on RJ. Because the legend has it is that his girlfriend or wife or his girlfriend at the time
Yeah.
went to London and came back with these punk records, and he played
Yeah,
it on
I think
RJ.
there's some truth to it.
Yeah, but your experience with punk rock is how were they selling music, or did you know somebody that knew the music before it became popular?
Actually, it was because I was doing the folk singer beat during that time, and then June approached me and said, "Would you like to join a band?" I didn't know. I thought I was being asked to join an actual band like that, but I realized then later on that it was just asking me to do a stand-in for Joey Smith. because
Oh.
sometimes because sometimes Joey doesn't show up on time, so
Yeah.
I have to be there and
Second
do
guitar.
the vocals for a while. Yeah, but I don't mind.
Okay.
I don't mind. Like you get to play
Yeah.
side by side with the legend like Joey Smith. June Lupito was also at that time really popular. So he presented me with the repertoire, and then I don't have any idea who they are. They asked me to learn songs from Dead Boys, The Damned,
Wow.
Sex Pistols,
Oh my God.
and then this
And you-
German guy, Herman Brood and the Wild Romance.
oh wow.
And what else? That's all I can remember. Sex Pistols,
It was there's one thing I noticed that the Ramones were not very popular in the Philippines, no? It was more the English punk bands
Yeah.
that reached Manila.
Yeah, but it was the Ramones, I guess. Historically, the Ramones were one major influence of British bands.
Oh yeah. Oh
I think that's how it. That's the way it happened.
it is the way that happened. Yeah, because
Yeah.
the Ramones, their first show in London, everybody
Yeah.
in the audience, it wasn't a big audience. It was probably
Yeah.
30 people. I saw a documentary of the Ramones,
Yeah,
and there were only like 30 people there, but Mick Jones was there.
Exactly.
Johnny Rotten was there. Steve.
the cream de la cream of
Everyone was there in that, and then
England
everyone.
punk rock scene.
Yeah, and Joe Strummer was there, and they formed
Yeah.
bands after that show.
So exactly, it was the Ramones who started it all.
It was the Ramones. But did you know?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just a sidetrack, just so you know this. A couple of years ago, there was a documentary that came out here in the States. And documentaries, before they put it out on video, it'll come out in the independent theater.
Yeah.
So there's a band in Detroit, 3 black guys.
Oh,
they're
wow.
called Death. That's their name, Death.
I think I heard of that.
Yeah, you have to, if you can find if I don't know how, maybe torrent. If you can, or maybe I can send you a copy.
Yeah,
Anyway,
okay. Yeah, please.
yeah,
I heard of the
these
name.
guys, they the point of the documentary was that they're obscure. They were forgotten in time because first of all, the music is like that. It's fast rock and roll.
Yeah.
It's punk rock. It's punk rock talaga.
Yeah.
But it was released. The first album of the Ramones was 77. This one was released in 1973. It was recorded as a single. Their first song,
Wow.
1973. So it's 4 years before the Ramones. They were already playing fast. Just as fast as the Ramones
Yeah.
and just as clean as Johnny Ramone's rhythm guitar. Even cleaner pa nga. Cleaner pa nga. Pero
Yeah.
there are 3 African Americans from Detroit. And during that time, their story was that early 70s, what was popular for black people to listen to was black music.
Yeah.
They didn't listen to rock and roll. That was like, okay, mga white boys. That's the white boy music,
Yeah.
So when these guys in a band called Death, they were playing The Who, they were playing Led Zeppelin, they were playing what is that band? I forget the name, but like garage rock bands
Yeah.
from the mid '60s. So all their neighbors would be like, "Why are you playing that? Why are you playing rock and roll, man? That's white boy music."
Yeah.
But they liked it. They liked it because it was, they liked it. And so they're the first ones who played fast rock and roll music. Because 4 years before the Ramones' first album.
Yeah.
And so what happened was their music, since they weren't popular, their music wasn't popular at the time because they were too early, ahead of their time, kumbaga.
Yeah.
So they just faded into obscurity until in 2009 or 10, their single, their 45, was being circulated on eBay, and people were the highest it went for was $800
Wow.
for a 45 single.
A collector's item.
Collector's item. So,
Uh-huh.
so the guy who made the director of the documentary is like, why is that so valuable? Who's that? Who's Death? And then he went there and then he discovered that band. Oh my God, you have to see it. You, my friend, you have to see that.
Okay.
Oh my God, galing. But yeah.
Yeah. I had the impression that I think Jimi Hendrix also did some, some versions. Like, do you remember the Jimi Hendrix version of Johnny B. Good?
Yeah.
It was really fast.
It's really fast. Yeah.
The only thing is that he's more into the bluesy side. He likes to, he is a really good blues guitar player, and he got stuck in that. But the way he plays, it's like some sort of extra energy boiling inside of him.
Yeah, even the bands of the mid '60s, those garage bands, like I don't. Have you heard of the Sonics?
I guess so. Yeah.
Yeah, if you
Not so much.
Yeah, you should hear that band. Oh my God, they're from 1964, 65, 66, and it's loud rock and roll.
Yeah.
White boy rock and roll. So it's loud. Yeah. It's loud and aggressive.
I think you can throw in the Yardbirds, the Jeff Beck era.
Yeah.
With the Yardbirds, it sounded like early punk rock, I think.
What is that? What's that Yardbird song with Jeff Beck? With the weird riff. You know what I'm talking about?
Is that Heart of Stone? I think. I don't remember, but you know how Jeff Beck,
Oh yeah.
He's always stretching the limits of the guitar. So
oh my God.
And he's still at it right now. So anyway,
I saw
Yardbirds. I think it's really trailblazing during their time.
Yeah, yeah. The Yardbirds, they get taken for granted because because they didn't last long, but imagine that band had Eric Clapton, Jeff Beck, and Jimmy Page. Oh my God!
I remember they said Jimmy Page was playing bass guitar for Jeff Beck, something like that.
Yeah. And then eventually, Jimmy Page took over.
Yeah.
And then the singer
became the guitar player.
He became the guitar player, and then the singer just wala. He was sablay na.
Yeah.
And then that's when Jimmy Page, he said, I'm gonna get new guys. So he got Robert Plant, he got John Bonham, and then
it turned out into something else.
Yeah.
Really something else.
They were called the Led Zeppelin was originally called the New Yardbirds.
Ah, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, because everybody, like when Jimmy Page got in, there's so many documentaries here in the States, so that's why I'm such a nerd for rock and roll history.
Yeah.
So I've seen them all. But anyway, Jimmy Page, when he got in, the singer of the Yardbirds was already taking too much drugs. It was already downhill. So
okay.
So and then the other members like Chad, like the other members, they had enough already, so they left one by one. So Jimmy Page is like, oh my God, I'm still in the band, so I might as well continue with new guys. So he renamed the band the New Yardbirds. And then
this was before they decided to use the name Led Zeppelin.
And then Led Zeppelin was the idea of Keith Moon.
Ah.
Yeah. because Jimmy Page, because they all know each other. They're in the scene.
Yeah, yeah,
In
yeah.
the Manila scene, everyone knows each other, right? So Jimmy Page, the legend has it is that Jimmy Page was in just drinking with Keith Moon and I think Pete Townsend, and then they were planning to make a super group. Let's
Okay.
like in our scene, it's like
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
let's make a band. So they were like, okay, Keith Moon, you play drums, and then me and Pete will be two guitars, and then they'll get a bass player, and then a singer. And then Keith Moon goes, "Oh my God, that band it's gonna crash like a Led Zeppelin."
So that's
And
how.
then Jimmy Page didn't decide then and there. Okay, that's the name of the band, but he was like, "Hey, that's a cool name." So that's how Led Zeppelin. And then of course you take the A out of the lead, so it's LED,
Yeah.
and then it becomes this iconic name of the best rock band.
So that's how it started. It was
Yeah.
Keith Moon who coined the name.
Going the name, yeah. It's and to them, I guess it's just normal. Friends talking.
Yeah, it's like hanging out, in Malate or something.
Yeah, in Penguin.
Yeah, in Penguin or in Makati.
Yeah. So who was you? How did you get into music? I mean, in general, before and then just I guess your
Okay.
transition to rock and whatever. But your music origins of music, because you're a musician, so
My-
there has to be somewhere it came from.
Well, first I started singing when I was in high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but my choice of songs were ballads and all that stuff. And you know how it is in the province. I studied high school in the province, so it's quite what do you call that? Traditional. The same thing,
Uh-huh.
the same music that you hear from your mom and dad. I guess Frank Sinatra, all that.
Yeah.
So I started singing those things. The wonder of you and all that.
Uh-huh. What
And then I started-
what era is this? What year?
Uh, 70s, early 70s,
Okay.
early 70s. And I started singing in school, what do you call this?
Productions.
Graduations and all
Oh,
that,
okay. Uh-huh.
school, what do you call that? Red letter days of,
Right. Yeah.
of
yeah,
the
yeah.
school, So
Were
I
you-
started
were you-
singing
were you-
there.
Were you playing guitar as well?
No, no.
Oh,
I
okay.
don't have any idea how to play the guitar at that time.
Wow.
And
okay.
so sometimes then they would push people and then push them up on the stage and okay, sing something.
Okay.
And like that. I'm one of those guys.
Right. Right.
And there's this guy playing the guitar, accompaniment and all that. So I tried, and then suddenly people decided to, this guy can sing.
okay.
But I was just fooling around because I used to do that with some of my friends, during in the evening, hanging out and all that, making small talk and all that, teenagers and all. So
Yeah.
they would sing and all that, unfinished songs, they would start and you don't finish it, and then suddenly you're being serious and you're trying to finish a song
yeah.
on stage in front of all these people. So,
Oh my.
but I was able to do it. So, the head teacher heard me, and then they said, "How would you want to compete in a literary musical contest?"
Mm.
So they put me there, and as a representative of the school.
Uh-huh.
So the first time I tried, I won.
Wow.
So it was encouraging. It was very encouraging, and suddenly I wasn't a nobody anymore in school
Right.
because like he's the guy, he sings and all that stuff, but I can only sing. I can only come up with 1-2 songs and all that, and then suddenly people are noticing me in school. So I enjoyed that. So I like this.
Yeah. You already felt the rock star vibe.
I guess so. You can say that, but until I lost. The next time I joined, and it was on a higher level, and I lost, and so I started noticing the cold shoulders and all that. So I said, "Oh, so this is the downside of it all."
Right.
So it passed, and then I didn't thought about it. I got obsessed with basketball and all that. So it went on unnoticed, and when I was in college, I pick up the I started singing again. That was the time when I started learning a few chords, and so I had to try it with my singing. So, but I was already in first year college, I think. So it was a long gap, big gap on my what do you call that? My history as my encounter with music.
Uh-huh.
But this time, yeah.
No, go ahead.
But this time, I started to have an interest on my own. There was this jingle magazine, and suddenly all the songs that I like were available with chords in it. So I said, why not?
Wow.
I started learning those songs.
I was about to mention Jingle Magazine. And, did performing on the stage that first time, did you have stage fright? Was it natural for you? Were you comfortable on stage?
Well, it's like you don't want to do it, but then again, you want to try it. You want to see the reaction. Having experienced the first time that you did, there's always that, you're sweating all over and all that.
Yep.
And when I started to, when I was here already and in college, I had that opportunity to go up the stage again. Suddenly it was, I wanted to feel that again. Being nervous and all that stuff, the feeling was great. It's a rush. There's always that adrenaline rush to it. So I was excited. I was afraid. I was scared, but the excitement, beats the fear. So but it didn't happen overnight, because when I started singing, I have to rehearse several songs, because some guy, a relative of mine, he's a working musician, and he was rehearsing at that time with a girl, and they were planning to go to Japan, something like that. And so they were rehearsing. So one time I tugged along with him, and I got inspired because they were really serious about rehearsals and all that. So I like this.
Uh-huh.
And then the girl's family, they were all performers. And there was this guy, his name is Ernie Palacios. I don't know if you heard of the group Sino.
No, I've never heard of them. Sino?
Yeah, Sino.
Okay.
Who? Something like that.
Yeah, Sino. Who?
Yeah, Sino. His name is Ernie Palacios, and he's really good. He plays the guitar really good.
Okay.
And then he heard me sing, I sang. I like Neil Young because I have some sort of a similar timbre, similar.
Tone.
I sounded like I sounded like a little bit. I sounded like Neil Young, something like that. So I was singing "Heart of Gold" and "Sugar Mountain" and all that. And then he said, "Hey, why don't you come over at the TGIF?" It was this folk house, obscure folk house in Moraita, and then maybe you can jam. I said, "Really? Yeah. You can use my guitar."
You were still in college?
Yeah. I think I was second year college, and that was I was nearing the end of my school of my schooling. I think I was about to quit.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Because I'm having a great interest in playing music, and then rehearsing was really, was really interesting, very encouraging. And then these guys were saying, "Hey, you can. I think you can manage this job. I think if you rehearse, you need to rehearse at least 30 songs, and then you can audition any place you want.
Yeah.
We can help you out, like that."
Yeah.
So I went there at TGIF. Thank goodness it's Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the name of the folk house in University Belt in Moraita.
Yeah.
So I went there. I played some Neil Young songs. So people are really impressed, and I decided to put some more effort in trying to sound like Neil Young. So they were impressed. The owner of the club, the owner of the bar, was quite impressed, and so he said, "Do you want to sing here? Do you want to work here?" I said, "Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Do you have enough repertoire?" So I said, "You just have to declare that you do." So I said, "Yeah." And then you rehearse later.
Yeah.
Okay. He gave me a schedule. It was I can't forget that schedule on a Wednesday. So he gave me a Wednesday night. So I said, "Yeah, okay." But I wasn't really sure about it if I can handle myself, because it was my first time, to really be able to work as a musician. So, but then again, I was also raring to go. I really wanted to, find out for myself. So that's it. That's how it started. And said, "You're not gonna get paid first, when you play. You're gonna be having a free meal of your choice. You want a sandwich, you want rice meals and all that. So I don't mind. I just want to do this."
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's how it happened, But come Wednesday night, somebody was playing there. His name is Albert Depano, and he was really good.
No.
And that was really one of the scariest experience that I encountered. He was doing this, he was classically trained. He was playing really high level jazz and all that stuff. All I can do was strum the guitar like the way Neil Young does.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, I'll just have to, bank on the Neil Young sound-alike bit,
Right.
So I was able to handle it, and Albert was really accommodating, and then he was really encouraging to me. And the owner said, "Okay, would you want this day? You can play alternates with this guy, and you get to earn 30 pesos a night."
Oh my God.
Gosh.
So it was fine with me. Yeah, 30 pesos.
Yeah.
I think it was still martial law at that time.
Uh-huh.
And so you
Was
have
it
to finish.
was it how did you feel when you realized that, oh, I'm getting paid to play music? I'm
It
getting
was
paid to do what I like.
it was really exhilarating, and well, you want to do you want to do it some more,
Uh-huh.
And so people started noticing, and I became friends with Albert, and along with the other folk singers there.
Mhm.
And so just like anywhere else, people, like folk singers, they would invite you to their gigs and all that, and then they would introduce you to the managers and all that. So
Right.
that's how it happened. I slowly got some gigs going.
What was the circuit for a folk singer at that time?
At that time, it was in Malate.
Uh-huh.
I played at my father's mustache.
I know that.
You remember that? Have you heard of the name?
Yeah.
My father's mustache. It's in MH Del Pilar, and the Hobbit House.
Hobbit House.
The old Hobbit, the one at Mabini,
Right.
Remedios, and then some others. There was this Pension Filipina in Bocobo, and also this Cola House in TM Calao. It's all in the Malate area.
Right.
And then slowly in Quezon City, they slowly have some, started opening up. And then that one in Moraita was one of the oldest folk houses, TGIF. It's along Moraita near FEU.
Uh-huh.
And so that's how it is. I just go around those places.
How often would you play a week? In a week?
About 5 times. I think that's the most.
5 times, 3 sets.
Yeah, five nights a week and all that. But on the average, I think 3 nights a week. Yeah, 3 nights a week, 3 sets.
And that would be more, hopefully more than 30 pesos.
Yeah. I started to get some raise
right.
afterwards, like that, and it was really encouraging. I was really happy at that time,
Wow.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was out of school already at that time.
Oh, okay. So yeah, because you're earning already.
Yeah.
Did you how did your folks feel about it?
Well, my father didn't like it because how it is, because he said it's not, you have to finish school and all that.
Right. Yeah.
And from time to time, I would take him up to it. I would go back to school, but it just doesn't interest me anymore.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I managed second year college. That's it.
I took second year college 8 times.
Pretty much the same. Huh?
Yeah.
We are pretty much the same.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same.
You know
And
how it
then, when Wolfgang started, we got a regular gig there in Weekends Live in Makati Ave.
Yeah.
That's it,
I remember that.
Yeah, you remember.
And also, I remember the first time you jammed at 70s Bistro. It was during our gig.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Yeah, I was approached by I don't know who was Renard, yeah, Renard. There was this new band. They wanted to jam. I think, and he approached me and he said, "Would you mind?" I said, "No, no, not at all."
Oh, it was like
And then that was you guys.
okay. It's
Wolfgang,
it was
yeah.
probably like an audition
I
set.
guess so, yeah.
Yeah.
Because I remember, I don't know if people know this, but Razorback was first formed before you guys, right?
Oh yeah, they were formed a year before.
Yeah.
I was a roadie of Razorback.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I know that. Because Razorback was already popular already when you guys came up.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But when you jammed, I said, "These guys are something else."
Oh, thanks, man.
They have this, and then you played really heavy at that time, in the 90s, I think, right?
Yeah.
That was the 90s, and you were the personification of grunge at that time, really. And well, four-piece bands it's always impressive to me,
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Four
I
pieces.
started. Yeah. It's the ideal. What do you call that? Lineup.
Yeah.
Because I started with I started the Jerks doing just the vocals, and then there are 5 of us,
Oh.
and I always felt I was the 5th member, and I was not playing guitars at that time because Jun Lupito and Nitoy was there beside me, so
Okay, so
I'm
let's
just
so now we're in the Jerks era. I mean,
okay.
so this was how did the Jerks form? So you were playing folk.
Yeah, that was the time.
How long was that gig until June invited you?
Well,
Because-
I was already what do you call that?
You were already established.
If that's the word.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
financially, but
yeah.
probably, like I know my way around already
right.
at that time, and I've been around all those bars and all that. And Jun Lupito would hang around there, would show up sometimes, and banter with the folk singers, because he was a folk singer at that time too.
Yeah.
He started also as a folk singer. Anyway, if you want to know what he plays Peter Frampton.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And also Peter Frampton's guitar. Frampton is really good guitar player. So
Oh yeah.
and so that was Jun Lupito at that time. And then when he joined Anakbayan and Pepe, he became a rock star already. So that's it. And then he would hang out with folk singers. So finally we met and all that, and but not really close. Only at that time there was this one night at my father's mustache. I was sitting on the stairs, and he was looking for a singer for a punk band. He said, "What? Punk band? That's the music now.
Wow.
Punk band. It's not the Chuck Berry variety or whatever."
Uh-huh.
Sabi ko, I said, wow. But bands always fascinated me, especially the Rolling Stone variety and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So I said, "Would you like to join?" And he asked me like that. So I said, "Yeah, why not? We can rehearse at when do we rehearse?" "Right away, tomorrow." So my father's mustache was right across Sikia Apartments,
Uh-huh.
and that's where Rico Velez lives with his girlfriend. And they have a room there. So So they have the instruments already in there. So I said, yeah, I'll join you tomorrow. So the next day I went there, and I wasn't really. I don't have any idea what we were gonna do. So he said he'll take care of everything and all that, the materials and all that. All you have to do is sing.
Uh-huh. Who was that?
That's it.
And then, but did he have a name? The Jerks already? Was it the Jerks right away?
No.
Oh, okay.
The Jerks is not. It's never in the in my mind yet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But
It was
Nitoy,
just.
but Nitoy was.
No, Nitoy was still.
Oh, he's not there yet. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I already know Nitoy at that time.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. In a different crowd.
Right.
Anyway, I showed up, and then I was there. I met Flor Mendoza, who's gonna play the drums.
Right, yeah.
God rest his soul, and Rico Velez, who's gonna play the bass.
Oh, okay.
And June is gonna play the guitar. And I even volunteered. I said, "Oh, I can play rhythm guitar if you want me to." Like that. But he doesn't pay any attention. Like he's a rock star, and I'm the one. I'm the guitar hero here.
Yeah.
So okay, I'll sing.
Yeah.
And then we started. Introduced me to the Dead Boys, the Damned. We had some Herman Brood and the Wild Romance, all that. Ramones, of course. So Sex Pistols. Said, oh wow, it's really interesting. And then I like the loud sound. I like the way the guitar sounds when it's really loud. So so it makes me really work. When you hear those distortion and all that.
Yeah.
So it makes me dance. So so I said, okay, I really like this too.
Dance too.
Yeah, I really like it. I said, okay, for good measure, we're gonna learn some songs from the new album of the Rolling Stones.
Of that time.
At that time, it was Some Girls.
Oh, okay.
One of the best albums. So we started doing Beast of Burden. We did Shattered. We did.
Oh my God!
When the Whip Comes Down, that's my imagination. All that. Miss You.
What an album, huh?
Yeah. So I think we learned half of the album. It's just for good measure, because the audience might not be ready for the Dead Boys or whatever.
Yeah.
So we have some materials ready for trying to please the crowd. So that's it, and of course, Satisfaction was there, and that's how I started moving like. I want to move like Mick Jagger and all that stuff,
Right. Yeah, because
So
I've seen pictures of you without a guitar.
Yeah.
Like, wait, why doesn't he have a guitar? That's weird, Because
I think you met me when I was already
you're already
playing the guitar.
You're already
I'm playing
like
the guitar already.
Like a Dave Grohl kind of
Yeah.
vibe already.
Yeah, but I started as a song and dance act.
As a front man talaga. Wow.
Yeah. So I have forced myself to embarrass all my friends and my family doing that. So that's how I started.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
So what was that gig? What did you rehearse for?
That gig was a one night stand. It was somewhere in San Marcelino. It was still in Malate, San Marcelino, but it's on the other side, across the street, across Taft Avenue.
Oh, okay.
So it used to be a folk house. It's called Studio A. It was a nice place, and so we got there, It was only that night that I learned that Joey Smith was headlining that gig, not me.
Oh.
But I was so excited in seeing him, alongside with him,
Yeah.
And true enough, he came in late.
Yeah.
So I got a chance to, display my wares and all that. So
wow.
So we did
you played all those Dead Boy songs.
yeah.
Okay.
We did the first set, and it was really nice. And all the bottles were broken and all that. We're being really punk rock.
I can't imagine Rico Velez playing punk rock. Because when I first met him, he was already in Coco Jam.
Yeah.
He was already
man.
wearing scarves and he had long
Yeah,
hair.
man.
He looked like Gandalf,
Yeah, he already came from Zambia, I think. Yeah, because he went to Africa at that
he
time.
went to
And when he came
Africa.
back, he was a reggae. He was a Rasta.
Oh,
Anyway,
okay.
but it was all in the attitude. Like you play in a punk band, you become a punk. You act like a punk.
Did he use pick?
No.
No. Oh,
No, he did not. He played the bass the way he always does.
he always does.
But
Yeah,
Lupito was really aggressive at that time. Like when we started doing the Dead Boys, we did the Damned. I don't know if you've heard of the song New Rose.
No, yeah, New Rose.
Yeah, it was really fast and all that.
Is she really going out with him?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was, and also we got some Joe Jackson music. Also, we played "Got the Time" and it was really fast. And
Uh-huh.
so
That's one thing, Joe Jackson, because Joe Jackson became famous for the
yeah.
pop songs, right?
Yeah, but before that, he came up with a punk album, Look
Yeah.
Sharp.
Uh-huh.
That was that was the album I'm familiar with.
Wow.
So we did the first set with me, and it was really exhilarating. When Pepe came, the whole the stage and the dance, the space in which supposed to be the dance floor, it was all a mess. Broken glasses, broken bottles, and all that stuff. Because there was this customer, and he's got those. And the table was full of bottles, and then Jun Lupito kicked it.
Oh
So,
my God.
So it was scattered on the floor and all
Holy
that.
shit.
And then, so it was really, the attitude was really punk,
Oh my God.
And consciously, I was really, oh God, are you really doing this? But it felt nice, It was, what do you call that? Liberating or something.
Yeah. No, but I mean,
Anyway.
the reason why I'm reacting is because if, to kick a table full of beer bottles and glasses,
Yeah.
aggressively and to smash everything.
Yeah, Jun Lupito was really bad at that time.
Yeah, that's
He was really
that's
bad at
pretty-
that time,
That's pretty bad. I mean, even if you,
Yeah.
what the hell? You'd be like, if you're a
Yeah.
witness to that, you'd be like, whoa, ano yan? What, why is he? That's pretty
Yeah.
violent,
But the night, the audience was pre-advised because
Oh, okay.
we already said that the show will be a punk concert, a punk show. Like bring your best punk attire and all that stuff.
Okay.
But a lot of people doesn't have any idea what we're talking about. Like and then Pepe came in. He pierced his cheek with a big safety pin,
Holy shit.
and I said, "Oh, okay, that must be painful, but I'm not about to do that."
Oh
but he
my
did.
God.
Yeah, he did. He came in with that. So that was the message.
Wait.
And
Pepe Smith, he came into the bar with the paper, with the pin. in
Safety
his
pin,
cheek,
yeah.
With the safety pin already in his cheek.
yeah,
Oh,
and it was the big one. the biggest, I think.
Yeah. Oh my.
Yeah. So yeah, well, it's all
Crazy.
you know.
So
So
Pepe was into punk rock as well.
yeah, he was really into punk rock, and
Wow. Hey, sisters and brothers, I have a new sponsor. My friends Gary and Marilu from alkalinewatersogood.com. They are international Kangen water distributors. Kangen water is delicious water created from Enagic's innovative water technology. Enagic is a 56-year-old Japanese company with 40 offices in 23 countries, including an office in Manila and 8 offices in the U.S. And it is the leading manufacturer of alkaline ionizers and water filtration machines in the world. Not only do these devices filter your tap water, but they also produce ionized alkaline and acidic waters through electrolysis. These waters can be used for various purposes, including drinking, cooking, beauty, and cleaning. Can you imagine never buying bottled water again? The plastic in bottled water often contains BPA and other chemicals which are proven to be hazardous to your health. And how much fun is it lugging cases of it from the market, recycling it, and you know, plastic is an environmental nightmare. According to Gary, it's also a great way to add an additional income stream. He's been selling machines for over 12 years internationally, and everyone needs the healthiest water in the world. So folks, if you have any questions about Kangen water, check out their website at alkalinewatersogood.com. That's alkalinewatersogood.com. Or you can email them at gary@garyballin.com. Gary Ballin with 2 L's.com.
and then when he did his set, of course he was the famous one. So I was done already at the night during that night. After the first set, I'm already done. So I have all the time to watch that.
Yeah.
And then I'm enjoying myself. I was enjoying myself at that time. So I said, I was already thinking of, how about I came up with my own band like this?
Yeah. Oh wait, before we proceed, how did the crowd react to the punk rock?
Well, mixed emotions, some, especially the guy on that table that Jun Lupito
Yeah.
kicked, he want to make trouble, he wants to,
Yeah.
he wants us to pay for all that beer.
Yeah.
Anyway, so, but the rest, they were really impressed, and then they were really, they said, we want to see this again, but I don't think the owner of the bar is up to it, because we made a mess of his place. So,
Yeah. Oh my god.
so that's how it started. That was the first gig, I think. The first gig that I played in a band, in a punk band.
Your
punk
first
band.
Your first
Yeah, my
electric
first
band.
gig, Yeah, and I remember I lost my voice because of so much screaming and all that.
Wow.
So that's it. That's how it started. That's how I started with my business relationship with Jun Lupito at that time. He would come once in a while, ask me to join in, for some project band and all that stuff,
Uh-huh.
And I always make myself available because that's June.
Yeah. Well, you guys are pretty much the same age, no? Because June was younger when
Yeah,
he joined Pepe and all that.
Yeah, I'm a little bit older than him. I think he wants to rub it in like I'm older than him for about a year. I think it was just months.
Yeah.
I think it was several months, I guess. But well, he sticks to it,
Yeah.
that I'm older than him. So okay.
So when did the seeds of your own band start in your brain, in your mind?
Yeah. That was the seed.
Mm-hmm.
And well, it took about a year or more, but I already have that plan I have Nitoy in mind because I've met Nitoy in a folk house already, and we had some jams already. But he was working as a technician because he just came from a rehab, so he was looking for work and all that stuff, you know. But he was working for this. I don't know if you've heard Boy Arwin's, like instrument rentals.
Okay.
It was in Santa Mesa, and that he works there.
So for the audience info, Nitoy is Nitoy Adriano, who was
Nitoy Adriano, yeah,
the guitarist of the Jerks.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So we started jamming at this folk house called Batu Balani.
So he was a folk singer too?
No, he was working as a technician.
Oh yeah. Okay, you're right.
He would come by and he would fix the before the folk singer starts. He would come by, fix the sound system and all that stuff.
Okay.
Yeah, he was the sound technician at that time. And then during my gig, he would come over, fix the sound system, and then one night he came up with a imitation Les Paul.
Uh-huh.
I said, "What are you doing with that? It's an electric guitar."
Oh, okay. So you knew him just as the tech.
Yeah. I said, "Can I jam with you?" Because I was doing some solo versions of some songs of Leonard Skinner, some songs by John Mayall and the Blues Breakers. I was already playing blues music on an acoustic guitar. So I said, "Can I jam with you?" So, yeah, why not? Yeah, for as long as it doesn't irritate the owner, I'm fine with that.
Yeah.
So he started playing with, jamming with me, and so that was the time that I decided that I might as well get this guy. He seems to be very experienced with the instrument, so I kept him in my mind.
Oh, okay.
And one time I already told him my plan. I said, "Would you want to join me in a band? But it's just the two of us. Yep, I don't have anyone, because we're gonna need a bass player and a drummer. So, but I don't have anyone in mind.
Uh-huh.
So, but would you join me if ever some guys would come over and join us?"
Right.
Said, "Yeah, I don't have anything to do." I didn't know that he was a member of quite a popular band in Angeles. It's called Judas.
Judas. I heard of them. They have albums, right?
Yeah. He was part of that band.
Oh wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Was he on the albums?
No, not anymore. But the before Judas came out, the members of this band called Sparks, in which the members of Judas was also the major composition of the band.
Okay.
And he was with Sparks also. So when Judas came up with an album, he wasn't with them anymore. He was already in Bikutan, I guess, because he went into rehab.
Okay.
So that's it. Anyway, that was a very turbulent time for him. Anyway, so I asked him if he would join me. So he said, yeah, just tell me. And then there was I remember June, when we were talking, he mentioned something like, because Floor was already playing with us with June's band, that first gig that I was talking about, right?
Yeah, Floor.
He was our drummer. So I said, "Hey, I like the way he plays. He's so wild."
Yeah,
he's a wild man on the drums. So, and I remember June mentioned some guy who plays bass, and he's really good. But he wasn't on that band, so he was in a Beatles tribute band.
Uh-huh.
And his name is Boy Matriano.
Uh-huh.
So he said, I really like that guy. He is really good. He's really technically he's one of the best bass player.
Oh, wow.
And so
What's his
I
name
kept
again?
that in Boy Matriano.
Boy Matriano. Okay.
Yeah. And so one night when I was with Nitoy, and because that place, Batubalan, it was just across the street to Bodega Malate, Bodega Mabini was another folk house. It was a really big folk house, and a lot of famous folk singers play there, folk groups and all that. And during that night that I was with Nitoy, Floor's band was playing at the Bodega, and the bass player was Boy.
Oh.
So I asked him, why don't we check them out?
Yeah.
So we went there and then watched the band. It's called Moving Target. That's the name of the band. It's a Beatles tribute band, country music band, like that.
It's Beatles music played country music style?
No, not
okay.
exactly. It's the Beatles music as it is, and then they would play some country music on the side.
Okay. I thought they
and then they'd
the
play some
Beatles
Beach
songs.
Boys. They play Beach Boys, and then I noticed they played Barbara Ann.
With all the vocalization.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it sounded really good, and it's just like the way the Beach Boys sounds.
Yeah.
Along with the Mike Love falsetto.
Wow.
And the one doing the falsetto was that guy Boy Matriano.
Oh my God.
He is a really good singer. And then as we were watching him play the bass, I said, this guy is a virtuoso.
Oh my God.
He's really good, and he sings really well. And I said to myself, this guy sings better than I am. and besides, his range was incredible.
Wow, I can't imagine a Filipino cover band playing Beach Boys.
Yeah.
With all the harmonies.
Yeah.
Wow. So they play how many?
So we stayed there until they finished their set, and then we talked to Floor because I already know Floor already.
Right.
With June's band. So
is this already
is
is this the 80s already?
No, not yet.
Oh, okay, not yet.
It's still 70s, probably 77.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
And maybe 78, something like that, because we formed the Jerks 79.
Oh, okay. Okay.
So it was a little earlier than 79. I'm not really sure when, but so we talked to the guys, to Floor, and I told Floor, can you ask your bass player? Can you introduce us to your bass player? So they both joined us, and I decided to tell them we're forming a band, and it's going to be my original plan is going to be a punk rock band. And I knew that Floor is going to back me up because he really loves that, and
yeah,
he really loves punk rock, and besides, he's got all the tapes, the materials and all that,
yeah.
So I said, why
He's the source.
why don't we do that? Why don't we form a band like
Yeah.
that? And
So by this time, punk rock is already full swing.
not yet.
No, not yet.
Not yet. That's why we're really, like, I'm really in a rush because we want to be the first.
Right.
So,
But what I mean is like already the Ramones have happened. The
Yeah.
Sex Pistols already happened. Not yet, or yes.
yeah, it happened already.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, because those were the materials that we're planning to play.
Right.
So that's it. So, but Floor and Boy, they both have families, so they need to maintain, retain their, regular gigs and all that. So
Right.
I said, yeah, we're still in the rehearsal, stage. So why not give it a try? See if it works. So they agreed. So one time I was working here at TGIF, and so Floor decided to bring his makeshift instruments at TGIF so we can rehearse.
Okay.
So we invited June, but June was really, undecided because, he was already the rock star at that time.
Yeah. He was already.
So
playing
Nito was doing the.
Pepe.
Yeah. So Nito was doing the guitar chores.
Mm-hmm.
And I would, play my acoustic guitar, doing the rhythm. Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah.
It's my,
Your John Lennon spectacle.
yeah, because I have big eye bags.
It's
So,
okay.
that's
This is only audio anyway. So
Okay.
yeah,
Anyway,
no problem.
so we started rehearsing, and then I don't know if they felt it, but I felt it. Like I said, this is sounding really good. It's it doesn't have that wild abandon that we have done with June Lupito.
Yeah.
This is more calculated because of Boy. The bass player was really good, and he can play Stanley Clarke, he can play Alfonso Johnson, he can all those giants on the bass. So
when he's
and he
playing
was
he's playing just one note.
and he's using what do you call this, a cheap Yamaha bass, Pulse. I think it was the cheapest bass guitar that he uses, and he plays everything. Like he plays like Rocco Prescia of the Tower of Power and all that.
Oh my God!
And at one
This
time he would,
guy.
he would show up. He would show up at the rehearsals or at gigs, and he would put out his bayong, his plastic bag, and then that's the time that he would assemble his bass guitar. He just put it on the plastic bag.
Wait.
Because
What do you wait? What do you mean? What do you mean assemble?
He disassembled his bass guitar, put it on a plastic bag, and then he travels from Las Piñas, Pilar Village.
Pilar Village, yeah.
Yeah, he would just do. He would commute
Coastal.
to go to Quezon City or Manila.
Right.
Because he can't carry around his hard case because it's too bulky. So
Yeah.
he would disassemble his bass, and then he would reassemble it when he gets to the bar.
Oh my God.
So that's how he does it. He was really cool,
Wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So, yeah. And what's even more amazing is when he plays it.
Yeah.
He is really, he plays like Rocco Prescia of Tower of Power, rolled into one with Stanley Clark and all those bass players.
So
He's really good. He's really good.
So
He's the real deal.
So when he played, did he like punk rock music?
It was just another music to him,
Oh, okay.
But he said, "This is so simple."
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's just a one note, and
It's just one note.
You just follow you just follow the guitar progressions and all that stuff. It was so easy to him. So to entertain him, we would throw in some, we learned some reggae music and all that, because reggae is really melodic bass, right?
Yeah.
And so he likes that too, But he wants more. So we decided to okay, let's do an instrumental anyway. Let's do Bahama Mama, Jamaican Lady by Jeff Beck.
Okay.
And Alfonso Johnson on the bass.
Yeah.
So we did that instrumental just to so that he could show his wares alongside with Nitoy. So I would step back and
Yeah.
So that's how we started. We put some what do you call that? Regular rock music for good measure, but and then we would go back to playing Sex Pistols, and then at that time we were doing Talking Heads already.
Oh, nice.
And what else? We did Talking Heads. We also the Cars was already out at that time, so we did some songs. Yeah, the early Cars.
Yeah.
So we did some of those because it's a bit popular.
Yeah.
So that was the time we started, and then there was no commitment at that time because Floor and Boy was still playing with that Beatles country music band that they do just to so they can earn some more.
Mm-hmm.
And then we started looking for gigs already, and then we started at Shakey's.
Taft. In Taft. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've only heard about it. I'm still young.
But it was really. They would put 4 bands on their bill at one night. 4 bands.
Yeah.
And they would ask the bands to play 3 sets, an hour each.
What?
Yeah. So if you play this first or second set, you have to wait for at least 3 hours, so you can go watch a movie or something, go somewhere else, and then go back to play your second set, and then watch a movie again, and then go back, and then by the time it's 4:00 in the morning, by the time you're done, it's 4:00 in the morning. So it's really what do you call that? It's a very taxing.
Oh my God!
It's torture.
I've never heard anything like that. That's God.
That was their system. That was the way they do it at Shaky Staff.
Oh my gosh!
So
what time was the first set? 8:00.
No.
7.
4 in the afternoon, I think, or 5 in the afternoon.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So happy hour. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's it. And we have some very negative feedback on the audience. Like Shaky Staff is purely hard rock, like you do Black Sabbath or you do, Scorpions and all that, Nazareth and all that. Uh-huh. Those were the people that go there. And then from time to time, they would throw glass mugs, beer mugs in the air.
Oh my God.
And to the other table. So there would be some trouble once in a while. So it's a really tough. What do you call that? Tough
Tough crowd.
bar. Yeah, tough crowd.
Tough crowd in a tough city.
Yeah, and then I remember we just go around it. We play. We would play Sex Pistols. We would play the Cars, and then we would play the Rolling Stones. We would play Honky Tonk, and they would settle down. And we would play Satisfaction. They would go wild, but not so wild.
That's so wild.
And then that's the time that we turn in our Sex Pistols, and then at that time we have so many Clash songs already.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so that's how it is. We play some Joe Jackson. Joe Jackson his punk rock is really what do you call that? Elegant.
Elegant.
Well produced and all that. So that's how it happened. And then one night, Howland Dave came in, but it was in Bodega that he came in and he introduced himself. But we know already who he is.
You were a 4-piece. The original,
5-piece already.
Oh, 5-piece.
I forgot to mention the guitar player we got was Heli Umali.
Okay.
Heli Umali was some sort of a Jun Lupito type guitar player, but not really the same. But he's more on punk rock.
Okay.
Anyway, he joined us, and so he plays at one time, and then June would come in, and then they alternate.
Yeah.
They rotate on each other. So at one night, Howland Dave came in with Delilah, and then everybody was really surprised, and everybody were really shocked. How they look.
Oh yeah, because they were already punk rock too.
Yeah. And so they came in, and then they want to talk to us, and they wanted us to come up with some original songs, and because he wanted to play some original music, punk music at RJ.
Right.
So that was something new for us, like we were about to write our own songs and all that. So, but we took him up to it and said, "Okay, give us a few weeks, and then we'll talk again." And then he told us that why don't you come over? He gave us a date, and then come over to On Disco somewhere in Ross Boulevard, because he's playing, he's DJing. He's DJing at that disco,
right?
And he's playing all punk rock.
Wow!
It's for a possible gig. So I said, okay, we'll go. And then that was the time that we met the owner of the club. His name is Sonny Tanchanko, and he became the first manager of the Jerks.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so he gave us some schedule there, 2 nights a week, on a Friday and Saturday.
Wow, nice.
So we started playing there. So Dante did some, did something for us too, so we can be introduced to those, to that kind of crowd. And then I remember the first night that we played at the On, and it was, I think it was the Glitterati of Metro Manila.
Oh my God!
Yeah. Everybody was there, and everybody was all dressed up and all that. Drinking wine and all that. So this is the jet set. So said, okay, we're part of it. We're part of it already. So why not enjoy it?
Yeah.
So that was the time that June Lupito would join us, when we play at the On, because he likes that crowd.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. That was
Wow.
this was already 79, 80, something
80.
like that.
So when did
Yeah.
you so did you ever have you ever written a song before this when Howlin' Dave asked you to come up with originals?
I did, but I tried at least. I tried to write songs like the way the kind of songs that Neil Young writes, I think.
Right. Yeah. Huh.
But with no success. Like I ended up writing long lines and it doesn't rhyme.
Right.
It doesn't rhyme and doesn't make any sense at all.
It's so ironic. It's really ironic that you say that you weren't it wasn't successful in the beginning because you kind of wrote a couple of anthems of Filipino rock music, so it's very,
I guess it's like I had to learn some time.
yeah. Gotta start
otherwise,
somewhere,
it's gonna be a failure altogether.
Yeah.
Anyway, but that was the I was just feeling the waters at that time, and I still don't know what's gonna come up, So I was just trying, but I'm not really pressuring myself. So when Dante asked us to come up with an original song,
okay,
and then that was the time that I got really nervous. Are you really up to this?
Yeah. It's a challenge.
Yeah, but then I wasn't really what do you call that? An instrumentalist at that time, so I'll try. And then it happened, one rehearsal day, I came over at the bodega, and then they were dabbling on some chord progression and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Nitoy and Heli. And so I came up with, okay, I'll try to write some, some verses. And then I did. After several days, I came up with Romantic Kill and what do you call that? The other one was Big Deal.
Big Deal.
And yeah, that was the first two songs that I wrote with the band. And immediately we recorded it. We recorded it at the very, very small space in Quezon City at the office of National Food Authority, because Tommy Tanchanco's father was the minister of NFA at that time. This was during Marcos' time.
Yeah.
And Tommy was there with a studio. I don't know why they have that studio. So it escapes me. Why does he have a studio in an office in a government agency that that manages the rice supply of the country? Anyway, yeah. But then we're off there at E. Rodriguez and near QI, and then I think it was on the 5th floor that we found this studio. It was it's as big as a regular comfort room.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's a very small space, and all it can accommodate was the drums. Just putting the drum set there, it's already full.
Oh my
So all the amps were halfway in.
Oh my God.
Like half of the amps was inside and the other half was outside. Imagine you have 2 amps for the guitars and 1 amp for the bass.
Bass. Oh my
So
god.
imagine the way it looks.
God.
And so we have to play outside. The bass player, the guitar player have to play outside. All they did was, just mic it in, and then it goes to the booth, the mixing board, which is, I think it was an 8-track mixer. So that's it. It doesn't matter now. We have to do this. So we played live.
Are these songs? Are these recorded?
Yeah. Yeah, that was Romantic Kill and
Big Deal.
And Big Deal.
And
imagine the surprise. It turned out to be the best recording of the songs. We recorded it again several times already, but it didn't came out really well.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, that one, the first recording that we did with those 2 songs were the best ones. So that's it.
Can you find those recordings?
I think Body Trinidad has got some copy of that.
Oh, okay.
Body Trinidad.
Of Betrayed.
Yeah. And then we throw in one song. It's called Day Tripper by the Beatles.
Yeah.
And we did it in a version that sounded like Little Bitch of the Specials.
Mm-hmm.
It's a ska arrangement.
Right.
And it's quite what do you call that? It's a past ska version of the song Day Tripper. And I remember I recorded that song without knowing the lyrics, I think. Except for the first verses that I can remember, and then the rest is I just made it up. I just made it up and I made some ad libs in it the way Pepe does,
right.
So that's how it went, and then came out really good.
And
actually,
did it get played on RJ?
Yeah, all those 3.
Nice.
By the way, all right, now at present, there was this guy, Rick Olivares. He's a writer. I don't know if you've heard of him. He's a writer, journalist. He hooked up with some guy. I don't know if you know Ricky Gonzalez. I think Ricky Gonzalez.
I'm not sure. I don't recognize him.
He's in the States. He's based there.
Okay.
And he's going to come up with a vinyl of the 2 songs, Romantic Kill and Big Deal.
Oh, really?
Along with us. Yeah. It's in the works, I think.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. So that's something to.
I must have it. I must have it.
Yeah. They're gonna come up with it.
This is the first.
It's an EP, I think. It's gonna be an EP, I think.
The 3 songs.
Yeah, 3 songs, but due to copyright restrictions, we decided not to include Day Tripper. Instead, we came up with another song. It was a song by Paul Kelly. Paul Kelly is an Australian singer-songwriter whom we met in Manila during that time when the Jerks were the original lineup of the Jerks. We met this guy. His name is Paul Kelly. He's got a band called the Dots, DOTS. And he was into punk rock also. But now he was into... he was like a Bob Dylan in Australia, I think. A singer-songwriter. And he wrote a song. He let us play it with him on the vocals. So we're going to include that on the EP. And then I threw in a new song that I wrote. And it's called Sa Madilim na Sulok ng Kasaysayan.
Oh my God, that sounds so
It's
heavy.
I recorded it with Raymond Marasigan and Buddy Zabala,
Uh-huh.
and it's all about this the present political
Climate
situation in the Philippines.
situation.
So
Yeah.
yeah, it's in Tagalog. It's a protest song.
Oh my God. Okay, so
Yeah, it's all about the EJK.
Wow.
That song.
The EJK. So
Yeah.
since you mentioned we'll sidetrack a bit. Since you mentioned protest song,
Yeah.
when did your because for those who are listening who don't know, Chickoy has very political lyrics in some of his songs, and they are the I would say your music, your lyrics are one of the really powerful music. I mean, there's a lot like you and Bobby Baling it, and others like that. Your lyrics are so, ooh, I mean, it's like how when the Bob Marley lyrics. It's like one good thing about music is when it hits, you feel no pain.
Yeah.
But when it hits, you feel it. You feel something. It's not pain.
Yeah. It stays
feel
there.
something. It stays there. Yes, exactly. It stays in your soul. And so, when did that start? Were you always a political minded person?
Not
Were you-
really. Yeah.
No. Were you attracted
Okay.
to protest music before? Like like you said, Bob Dylan, maybe Joan Baez.
Yeah. I appreciate. I started appreciating those music. Like Bob Dylan, Neil Young,
Neil Young.
and the like.
Mhm.
Those songs about protest. But during that time, it was just protest. They're protesting on something else, like that doesn't have anything to do with me, like that. I was into rock and roll and all that. So during that time, of course, it doesn't escape me
Yeah.
what's happening all around me and all those things. It was the time of Marcos, so but it was just me. I'm all by myself on that, Like I noticed, just like everyone else, you notice these things, this and that, and all that.
Yeah.
All the activists, all the critics of the government, they would, like the
Disappear.
back and forth criticisms and all that, accusations and all that. But it doesn't have anything to do with me because
Right.
that's them,
Yes.
That's them. They're the ones into politics. So
Yeah.
I'm a musician, so I stick to be a musician.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, during when Marcos was ousted during the time of Cory,
Mm-hmm.
I was still I went to Japan actually
Okay.
after EDSA.
Uh-huh.
I decided because there's just not
Nothing.
there's just
no
no
gigs.
work here, no gigs and all that. So me, Nitoy, and Floor joined it with some other musicians.
Yeah.
So we decided that we would go to Japan. We play all this, all the music that I don't like.
That you don't like. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is for the
it's
money,
like
yeah.
from disco to whatever, like
Whatever's
even
popular.
went as far as playing Japanese songs and all that, and playing Anak.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, all those.
Oh,
I even played the Itsy Bitsy Teeny Weeny Yellow Polka Dot Bikini. Yeah, like that.
Woo!
So
Live in
it
Tokyo.
happened for we went to this obscure city in Japan called Gunmaken.
Uh-huh.
So that's where we played. It lasted for 4 months. It felt like forever, It was like like when you're doing when you're not exactly liking what you're doing.
Yes.
It's like forever. Like it's like being in prison. It's like being stuck in the mud.
Yes.
But
Yes. So what was the
it helps you get by. And
what was the gig? Was it another 3 sets, 4 nights a week, or
more?
Oh my God.
I don't know if it's the same, but I remember we play 30-minute set for at least about 6 times.
Okay. Well,
But it's 30 minutes.
A 30-minute set's not that bad. You don't.
I know.
Too tired.
And it's not just me who's singing.
Oh, okay.
There's 2 girls singing and a guy alongside with me. So I'm not even the singer. My job description even is just a guitarist.
Oh, okay.
But I would throw in some songs, a rock and roll, satisfaction, so I would join them singing, and then that's it, So it's not so hard, but staying awake that long is can sometimes take a toll on your body. It's very, very tiring.
And you're not, and the thing is, you are working. You're singing. You're playing guitar. You're sweating. You are standing.
Yeah.
It's not nothing. It's you are working. So it does take a toll. Yeah.
Yeah. And then add that to the cold weather. We went there during the winter.
Oh my God.
We went there during the winter, and it was really cold.
Oh my.
And that was the first time that I went to a place where there's my first encounter with snow.
Nice.
Yeah, so that's it. During the first day, it was a holiday to me. This is what they call the snow. Yeah. And then, after several days,
I want to go home.
It gets worse day by day. So,
so that lasted for 4 months.
Yeah, 4 months. Yeah. And we were supposed to stay there for 6 months, but it didn't happen. We have to go back after 4 months. But it doesn't matter. I've saved some money, and I bought myself a guitar and some effects for some future plans of playing again when I go back.
Yeah.
So that's it.
So so you come back to Manila. Let's move.
When I came back to Manila, I decided to join in with Nitoy again, alongside with Floor.
Did you revive
playing,
the Jerks?
The Jerks, and that was the time. That was the time that Merrick's was open already.
Oh, okay.
And that was also the time that when I started playing there, I started playing solo, and then slowly I was joined by Nitoy and Floor, and then Lupito. So the Jerks is rolling again. But that was the time when I met some guys, because Merrick's became a haven for activists. A lot of them. So, but it wasn't during our sets. It was during the Wednesdays where Sinaglahi was playing. And I remember every Wednesday, it was all packed to the rim because of the too many activists there. And then they were singing all these protest songs and all that. And slowly they gravitated to Friday, which is our gig night. So slowly some activists started to watch us play. And then that was the time that I started hanging out with some of the old guys. And then eventually I met Koyang Jess Santiago. and he was organizing what do you call this? Musicians for Peace, something like that.
Yeah.
And but first of all, initially, he was organizing a workshop, a songwriting workshop, and he asked me to join in. And then I was there with Bobby Balingit and some other people. So that was a time I was introduced to Filipino protest music, and that was also the time that I attempted to write Tagalog in Tagalog, because
Right.
the initial songs that I've written were in English,
Yeah.
as if I'm really efficient with it.
Well, you're pretty efficient with English.
Yeah,
Man.
but you know, my grammar is still questionable, but I can manage. But sometimes I slipped once in a while.
Yeah.
But then one thing that's really lacking with when it comes to songwriting was doing it in Tagalog,
Yes.
and I had some sort of a guilt in that, because if Pepe can do it, why can't you? This
Yeah.
guy is a half American, you know,
Yeah,
and he does it really well.
Does it really well.
So you
yeah.
should be ashamed of yourself. So you have to learn this. And then, it happened. When I started joining in with Koyang Jazz Santiago and some of the budding songwriters, I started to get inspired again, and that was a time that I learned all the issues and all the the society's ills and all that.
Yeah.
And
So this was the first time that you really were conscious. I mean,
yeah. It was the awakening.
woke.
The awakening.
Woke.
Yeah.
We call it woke these days.
Yeah, you woke.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Enlightened. Yeah.
So that's how it. So that's how it. That's what it means. Yeah, I was really wondering what does this mean, woke?
Yeah. Well, here it's
So
it's
that's a-
really an American thing. It's
Yeah,
more
that's a
like
term now. Huh?
the definition of woke is more like it's very American in a way that white people, the younger
Yeah.
generation of white people, they are seeing the truth already about
Okay.
the racism against black people, against Latino, against Asians. So the younger generations of Americans now, of white Americans, are less racist. They're very tolerant of everything.
Yeah.
Being gay when you're young and
Yeah.
gay, it's not a problem anymore. It's not an issue at all. It's just life for them. It's a normal life for them. Here in the
So
States,
it's really a positive. Yeah, it's really a positive term.
It's a positive term, especially for those white American people who, because you can't all these things that all these injustice that's being done against black people and Latinos and whatnot, they're not publicized. So if it's not happening to you, you don't know that it's happening,
Yeah.
because the mainstream media, they censor it. And they don't call it censorship. They just they just don't cover anything like it. So you don't hear anything. Now that you can record anything with your cell phone, there's always proof. Because before there was no proof.
Yeah.
They had no proof because
It's always been the media that makes it,
Yeah, and it's
that
always
exposes it.
Yeah, it's really just the media. And the first time that happened was Rodney King. You remember that in the 90s?
Yeah. A long time ago. Yeah.
That was the first time. And look what
The
happened.
beating and all that.
Yeah, the beating. And since then, that was early 90s until now, it's been happening.
Yeah.
And white
It got
people,
worse, actually. Yeah.
It got worse. And white people, they didn't say anything because they didn't know it was happening.
Yeah. It's like during the time of Hitler, like the ordeal of the Jews.
Yes, yes.
Like when it's like they kept silent, and then until the knock on the door can happen.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, there was this quote that I read somewhere. A Jewish Holocaust survivor, I think, wrote the poem. It's like first they came for
Yeah.
first they came for the teachers, then they came for the protesters. Then I don't know. I'm not saying it verbatim.
Yeah,
And then-
It's the same
and then-
thing that I have in mind.
Yeah, and then finally they came for me, and no one was there to help me because I didn't
Yeah,
help
yeah.
them. Oh my, that's why now the woke generation, they're always there to protest. If there's injustice, if you notice all the protests, the Black Lives Matter protests last year,
Yeah.
most of the people were white.
Yeah.
There was a lot of black people.
Those were the woke generation.
That's the woke generation, because they were like, "Oh man, I cannot accept this. I can't live in a country and then
Yeah.
I'm living
Yeah,
comfortably,
precisely.
and then this guy is being killed by the police.
Yeah.
So so they were
Yeah,
So that-
actually, a lot of countries, I think it's worldwide. Like we are in a crossroads. The Philippines is in a crossroads.
yes,
Myanmar is in a crossroads. Like
Myanmar.
it's
yes.
it's happening all over again.
Yeah,
And this is a time people should be really aware and should be really, be prepared to do something.
yeah. Be prepared to go out in the street, man.
Yeah.
And
Pandemic and all.
yeah, and that's the thing here in America is that what I like about it. There's a lot of things I don't like about it, but there's some things that I do like. Is that it's your right to protest.
Yeah.
Anyone can protest, and sometimes they're protesting for the stupidest things. And then you just scratch your head, but it's the right. It's the Americas. That's why America was invented, so that you can do that.
Yeah.
And but when it's a just cause, like Black Lives Matter last year, it was worldwide. I mean, there were marches in South Africa. There were marches
It's
in
like,
in Netherlands, in Germany, all of Europe. My gosh.
Oh, because Europe is also what do you call that? There are a lot of racists in Europe, especially in the East European countries.
Yeah.
East European countries, especially during
Balkans.
football games, right?
Oh yeah.
Football games. It happens all the time. Like you see players walking out of the pitch
Yeah.
because of some racial
the
slurs that they suffer. Yeah.
The abuse, and then sometimes they'll throw bananas.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
To
I mean,
black players.
it's just
that's,
and you're right. Yeah, it's mostly the Eastern European, the Balkan,
Eastern
the Russian,
Europeans, yeah. Russians and all that.
Yeah. Well, the Russians.
There's also in Germany and France also, but it's worse in the Eastern European countries because they're not being monitored.
Yeah, they are not being That's right.
Yeah, not too many people know about it, but it happens especially when like African players, they go there, and that's the only time that they know. They find out that there is really.
That's the only time they experience racism. They're like, "What the hell? I don't get this in England."
I think in England also it still happens in England, I think.
No, but in England they really clamp down on it. The
There are some measures already in the parliament, I think.
Yeah, it's like you get banned from the venue forever. The lifetime ban, So anyway, let's go back to
Okay.
let's fast. No, I love it. I love the I don't really talk about politics too much because it takes a lot of time.
Yeah.
It sucks a lot of life out of the
Yeah, yeah,
conversation.
yeah,
So
yeah.
I try to
It's
just
sometimes it's exasperating.
yeah, really. So I just skate around in the edge and then
Yeah.
I'll get out of it. So let's fast forward a bit to the 90s when that's when the Jerks really become nationwide, you know.
Well, it started. I think during the time that I've been hanging around with some cause-oriented groups, activists, and all that, and then Mayrix happened, 70s Bistro happened, and the album happened.
The album happened.
Yeah, yeah.
How old were those songs before recording the demo?
Quite old, I think.
Like
First,
what
it
year?
happened with Gary Granada. Gary Granada came up with a live album.
Okay.
And he recorded it at my Mayrix. And then it was followed by the studio album. Was released by Star Records.
Uh-huh.
And those were good times. I think because there's so many gigs, and we launched the recorded album, the studio album. We launched it at ABS-CBN, having been affiliated with ABS, Star.
Right. Yeah,
they're
yeah.
just they're
I remember
affiliated to
Star
each other.
Records. Yeah, Star Records.
Yeah, so we've launched it at the ABS-CBN studio,
Mm-hmm.
along with Ellie. We had some guests there, Lolita Carbon. And, it was nice. But still, we concentrated on the gigs, the bar gigs and all
Yeah,
that. Nothing very big. But I think the songs spoke for itself, for
Oh,
themselves.
hell
Like
yeah.
it's what
They spoke
It's what
for
really,
a whole.
you know-
They spoke for a whole generation, man.
I hope so. Anyway, yeah. I really appreciate it that a lot of people, even the old songs, they're still listening to it, and they're sort of like para some sort of a guidepost, something. The songs became guideposts to some people. Like
Yeah.
something would happen, and they would sometimes we call that the parallel on a certain song,
Yeah.
or something happened, like that. Like EDSA would, when they celebrate EDSA, they would play Sayaw sa Bubog, or
Oh, yeah.
I really appreciate that.
Yeah.
It's something like, but it happened during those times that I started learning writing songs,
My
and
gosh.
really talking to people. I think the sectors, the farmers, the
Yeah.
workers, and all that.
Yeah,
Because you cannot just write. Sometimes you can be very good at words and all that, but you never realize how it feels. Like, so. It's good that I was able to really talk to those people who are really affected,
And
then
mhm, go.
associate myself.
Yeah.
Like now. Like I was like just part of a sector, like the workers sector.
Right. Uh-huh.
So it's not alien to me that these things happen.
Yeah.
So you have to write about it. It's a job for you, because you're a songwriter. You write songs, and you
It's
sing about
actually
it.
more like an obligation,
Yeah, it is. It is an obligation.
Yeah.
The same way, like that's the way to serve your country. That's the way to serve your fellow man.
Yeah. You have to there's a phrase that gets used a lot here in the States also. It's like speaking truth to power.
Yeah.
Which is just speak the truth, and the truth is already powerful enough.
Yeah.
You know?
It's the one that sets you free.
Yes. My God, you know what?
Yeah.
It's like, and the thing is, I feel it. You know, I'm speaking for myself. It's like when I hear Sayaw sa Bubog, when I hear a Rage, when I hear, and my favorite song of yours is Haligi ng Maynila. I love that
it's
song.
all about the workers. Yeah.
Yes, I love that song. And the thing is, now that you're saying, you're telling us na that you actually immersed yourself to, you know, with talking with you know, with the common people, you know, I can feel it when you sing it.
Yeah.
I can really feel it. The lyrics when you I forget. I can't pull up the lyrics in my mind right now. It's like, what's the first few lines? Sorry, you can't remember.
Okay.
But anyway, I mean, it'll come to you. But anyway, while you think, and the quality of your voice and the aggressiveness of your voice on the recordings. I'm talking about the recordings.
Yeah.
And you're at that level at all the time. You're at level 9 and 10, 8 to 10. It's like on the verse you're already level 8. By the time you get to the chorus, you're level 10. You know, and I think that's how powerful the music of that album is. That the Jerks music. It's like,
I guess that's the only way that's the only way I know.
Yeah.
You know, you cannot do it in any other way but that.
It has to be rock and roll, you know.
Yeah. I think that's the punk rock in me.
Yeah, it's like, you know, Sayaw sa Bubog, the first line, it's like, buwan ng Pebrero, buwan ng pagbabago.
Yeah.
If you see it on the lyric sheet, it's just simple.
They were just simple.
But
verses.
the way you sing it, that's why people, it's like right away the first few lines.
Yeah.
Okay, this is not about to praise. You know, this is a protest song. You know, he's not happy about buwan ng Pebrero, buwan ng pagbabago.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because it's actually a critique.
It's a critique
of the event, of what happened, and the end result after what happened after.
Yeah. And so many people know what happened, so they can relate. It's like, Chickoy is fucking speaking truth to power, you know.
Yeah, but I really appreciate it. People still, like refer to the song when they remember some event. There's it really warms the heart,
Yeah.
when they refer to the songs. So
and during that time there was a lot of protest music happening at that time too.
Yeah.
Aside from the oldies like Asian and Lolita and still doing their thing, it was there. The Jerks, you had half the album was all protest music. Then you had Yano, half their album was protest music.
Yeah.
And then Wolfgang had some not really deep, not really upfront political, but it was there.
Yeah.
So, there was so much musical freedom in the 90s, so
Yeah, I know.
A lot of us took advantage of it.
Yeah, well, like the music industry here, the cycle, it keeps on going back, and then it goes up, and then it goes down, and then goes up again. But I think it's the same anywhere. It's the same anywhere.
Anywhere, yeah.
Yeah, that's how that's the tendency, I think, of the industry.
Yeah.
And I think just to counter that, I think the musicians, especially the practitioners, they really have to save up for the rainy days, because when you get to the downside, you have to be ready for it and sustain yourself so you can do it when it's
normal again.
when it's up.
When it's up, yeah.
Yeah. So you can do it again.
And then going back to your music, that song Haligi na Manila, it's like the chorus. Manggagawa, tunay kang dakila. Oh my God, those lyrics are just.
That was actually it was actually a tribute to the workers, especially to the organized sector. Because being a manggagawa is it's nothing when you're not organized, because you'll be swallowed by
talaga
everything.
Yes. You'll be swallowed
with your needs, your needs, your day-to-day needs, like that. The only thing that's meaningful is, join with other workers, and then you organize yourselves.
And unionize.
Unionize and all that, is because that's how it goes. The workers are the most progressive in all the sectors.
Yep.
Because they have all the they have everything that is needed to really propel any country's economy.
Any country,
because country's economy, because they're the ones who at the forefront of production. What do you call that? The mode of production. They are the forefront. They are the only ones who make it happen.
Yep.
Not the capital, not the capitalists.
Nope.
It's them. So you have to give it to them.
That's
why they are being suppressed. They're being
oppressed.
Oppressed because of that. They were prevented to unionize because of that.
There was a big deal happened, I think 2 days ago, that the new president of the U.S. encouraged people to unionize.
Yeah, that's a good sign. Yeah,
that is like seeing a unicorn.
Yeah,
from the American president. Unionize. He's telling people to unionize.
I think that's the reason why. The Republicans said that the president elect is heavily influenced by the communists.
No, that's not true.
They came up with that statement, because the White House they say is taken over by the communists. Well, even Obama, he's really moderate. Even Biden is very moderate, but you
have to be moderate if you're a president.
Yeah,
right?
You have to accommodate everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know how the Republicans can be very, very what do you call that?
Shitty.
Cheap, something like that. So shallow. They're really shallow.
Yeah.
They brand somebody a communist when they disagree with them.
And it's like wow. It's like wow. How smart are you? You just communist, socialist.
Yeah, it's really shallow. It's really shallow.
Yeah. I'm like, and they probably don't even know the true definitions of those terms. Those isms.
Yeah,
and
that's what. It's always the narrative of fascists,
Yeah.
Like here in the Philippines, that the perennial feudal system in the East, in Asia, here in the Philippines, like that's always the narrative. When you disagree with government, you are a communist, or
Oh my God.
Everybody, even Miss Universe, the reigning Miss Universe is a communist now.
Communist.
I said, imagine that. Even was that the pretty girl, Lisa Soberano? Lisa Soberano is a communist.
Yeah,
Imagine that.
because they spoke their truth, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's funny. It's probably like Joma Season. He's in Excel,
Yeah.
right? He's probably like, oh my
Yeah.
god.
Yeah.
Oh my God! I am the communist, not these people. He's probably, right? It's like I'm
Yeah.
the one. I
Yeah,
am
yeah,
the
yeah.
communist, not them.
But that's how bankrupt this government is.
No, even
Like
even here,
they don't even make sense anymore.
it's the same here. It's the same
Yeah.
here, man. And oh my God, there's so many stupid politicians here. It's amazing. It's like it's amazing how many
They
stupid
feed on
politicians.
ignorance.
They feed
They
on
always,
ignorance.
yeah, that's how it is.
And another thing is like, oh my God, it's only now that we are realizing how many uneducated Americans
Yeah,
there are. And well, not uneducated, but undereducated,
yeah,
or wrongly educated. There's so many gaps in their history books here in the States.
yeah,
My gosh, there's so many things that they don't know, but it's all coming out now because of the woke generation.
yeah.
A lot of history is coming out into light.
Yeah.
And that's why this younger generation, they're really ashamed of what their grandparents or even their grandparents and older used to do. They're like, oh my God, this is shameful.
It's really encouraging. Even the Native Americans are coming out.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah.
That's the original.
The OG American,
Like
man.
the original issue. Like the original the owner of the land.
Yeah, that's the original sin of America.
Yeah. The Native Americans,
There
they're
was
coming out.
I think maybe 5 years ago, when the Native Americans issue was starting to come up again
Yeah.
because of that Standing Rock. I don't know if it reached the Philippines. They were going to put a pipeline through.
Yeah. I think that's
sacred
Neil
land.
Young's advocacy also.
Yeah,
Neil Young was
Yes.
against that pipeline. I
Yeah,
think
the
that he's helping with the Native Americans. I think Neil Young has got some Native American blood.
Right.
I think,
Yes, Native
and
American blood. That's right. Yeah,
I
you're
think
right.
he's Cherokee or something.
Yeah,
He's a Canadian, right?
yeah. So,
But they also
but
have.
there are tribes up there in Canada. too.
Yeah. So he has some sort of
Heritage.
heritage.
So
So that's why he's very active.
so when now like the last congressional elections, there were 2 Native Americans that were elected for the very
Yeah,
first
it's
time.
great, huh?
For the very first time, there
Yeah.
are Native Americans in the government, and like the other side,
Yeah.
the people who are trying to suppress all of these
Yeah.
progressive, like you said,
Yeah.
it's really the workers who are the progressive ones.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
they're the ones who work. They're the ones who are the farmers. They're
Yeah.
the ones who are the anything that So they see everything that's going to happen. They know what's coming. And that's the struggle that's happening right now here in America.
It's good.
It's really.
I think Bernie Sanders can really help.
Oh, dude, I love
think-
Bernie Sanders.
Bernie Sanders is
I'm gonna.
he's really
I'm gonna divulge something that I didn't vote for Biden. I wrote in Bernie's name because I could not bring myself to vote for Joe Biden.
yeah.
I could not talaga. I could not.
I was
wanted to
actually
because I wanted to beat Trump, but I could not
Yeah.
really. It's like, you know what? There's enough people that are going to vote for him here in California.
I think it was the first. At first, I think it was Bernie Sanders who was supposed to run. But they made some sort of a compromise, I think, because
No, because
a lot of Democrats are really afraid of, like the bogeyman of, because Bernie Sanders is a self-confessed socialist,
Yeah.
right?
yeah,
So they're afraid of that. But
they're very afraid.
but
But Bernie has always said it's like I'm not a socialist. I'm not a Marxist socialist. I'm like a democratic socialist. You can have all the business that you want, make all the money that you want, but you have to pay your workers and you have to allow them to unionize. That's all he's saying, which is not really a big deal. I mean, of course, it's a big deal for corporations because then they don't want their workers to unionize and all of that.
Yeah. I think it's still the narrative of the right wing ideologies that they demonize this the left, But actually, as far as the workers, the farmers are concerned, it's the most ideal system that we could come up with. They even in the world, it's the most ideal system that can work.
Yeah, I think
this
the
world.
definition of democratic socialist. I think that's the best, talaga. I think because I'm not against capitalism. I'm not.
Yeah.
But I'm against greed.
Yeah,
that's what I'm against.
What's important is you distribute the wealth of a certain country.
Yes.
Evenly. Yeah. Or you can distribute it according to the capacity of the workers, that they can come up according to their,
their production.
Yeah, production. And then the wages, just wages.
Oh my God. There's this battle going on for to raise the minimum wage here.
Yeah, it is. It should be.
It should be. It
should be.
It's
if you want the country running,
725.
If you want the country to come alive, give them what they want.
Yeah, there's always.
And then the problem is, they don't want to give in. The capitalists, they want to give in because they want to hold on to their money.
Yeah,
but,
the money.
They want to hold on to their wealth, but. For as long as if you give the workers what they want or what's due to them, everything would settle down.
I know.
And everything would be fine. Everything would.
I think everybody knows that. I think everybody who's sane and has common sense knows that.
Yeah.
But of course, the evil people who don't want that to happen, they'll do anything in their power with all their money to not let that happen.
Yeah. What's wrong with living in a nice apartment rather than a big mansion? They just have to let go of their big houses and their big cars and luxury cars and sports cars, the boats and all that. You don't need those.
I have this story that I like to tell. Because I live here in Southern California, Orange County. It's upper middle class to upper class in the county. So if you go near the beach, that's where the elites come in because the land is more expensive the closer you get to the beach. So if you go near to the mountains, it becomes cheaper. So the income brackets different, but it's still the same county. So when you go to there's this one hotel. It's called the Montage. It's near my house, and it's like at least $3,000 a night.
Whoa!
Okay? At least that's at least $3,000 a night. Okay. That's for one person, and that's not just for the room. That's one person. Yeah. But it's on the beach. It's right there on the beach. Now, the beach the beaches here in the States, that's all public property. So you can't close an area just for your resort, you know. So during the summer, when it's not a pandemic, the beaches are always full. So we went to this hotel to use their parking. You pay $40 and they valet parking. So we did that with a friend of mine, hati kami. And then, so to get down to the beach itself, we walked through the hotel. And then I had this hat, you know, those the field workers hats, the white rim, you know, and it's made of whatever that material is, the bayong material. You know, it's like for the farm.
Straw hat.
It's a straw hat, and that's the perfect hat when it's the summer here because it's really white. Anyway,
the same thing. What I'm wearing right now.
No, but a really wide rim.
Wide rim.
Yeah, wide rim. So I walked through the hotel in that because that's my hat for the summer.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I have the looks that I experienced. The people looking at me with the hat on. It's like, what the fuck are you doing here? You know, that's the look that I got for a couple of people. And it's like, fuck you, man. You know, I don't care what you think. So I just walked, you know, because you see it, man. You see rich people when they they look appalled that, oh my God, what are you doing here? It's like, we paid for valet parking. So yeah, we're here. You know, anyway, so we go down, you go through the hotel and then you pass through the swimming pool of the hotel and then you go down to the beach. And then you see people who are hanging out in the bar in the swimming pool and they're dressed like ultra rich people, you know.
Oh.
So I tell my friend, it's like, who's Filipino also, it's like, it's so weird, man. Check this out. Look around us. And then I ask him, have you been to a slum in the Philippines? Any slum? And he goes, yeah, I've been to, You live in the Philippines, you'll always encounter a slum. I go, isn't it weird that we've seen the North Pole and the South Pole of society? You know? And these people don't know that each other exists. They don't know the world that these other people live in. Like the ultra rich, they've never seen a slum, and people from the slum. Well, people from the slum, they probably work in those hotels, so they've seen that. But like you said, it's the workers who are the progressive ones because the worker sees both worlds.
Yeah,
and the rich people are just seeing their world. You know, unless you go out of your way to look beyond your walls. Yes.
Yeah, that's correct.
So it was just weird to see that, like, wow, I've been to Tondo and I've been to the Montage, and it's like the North Pole and the South Pole. Oh my God. And you know, it's like, and then I think about it, it's like, you know what, but then all these people, the basic needs are the same. They want love. They love their family. If they have kids, they love their kids. If they have a wife, they love their wife. Vice versa with their husband. And it's the same thing, you know? So I'm like, what's all this? It's disgusting, all these things that separate us, you know, when we're really all the same. We're really all the same, you know? And,
It's just actually, you know, what do you call that? Perspective or something.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a matter of perspective, and I think you know, that's the worst effect of those. You know, the too much wealth is, you know, like the snobbery of it all.
Yeah.
You know, like even if you know that the certain kind of people exist. Mm-hmm. Or a certain lifestyle exists, right. You know, like, well, it's not enough that you just know. You also have to, you know, like really understand.
Yeah, understand.
Otherwise, Otherwise, you're going to develop a certain amount of snobbery in it. The same way, rich people, like, yeah, the actions, the looks, that they gave to other people, they look at the straw hat. What's wrong with the straw hat?
Yeah. What's wrong with the straw
It's the
hat?
best hat. It's the best hat during summer.
Because it's cool, it's I mean literally cool. It's cold. It doesn't absorb heat.
There's no way you're gonna wear a fedora in the beach.
In the beach, exactly. So
you wear a straw hat.
Yeah. So like you said, it's always the common folk. Well, I wouldn't say common, but common, and the ordinary people of society. It's just because they live life. Because they have to live life, and they have so many challenges because of not being financially sound as other people, so they live in the more real world. They and their like you said, the word perspective, their perspective is wider than someone who just sits in a palace, in a gold and shits on a gold toilet. Trump Tower.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So going back to the music.
Okay.
What? So is the Jerks still together? Officially?
I'd like to think so.
Okay.
This pandemic can really, like it's like you're casting a dark shadow on everything.
On everything, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but I keep in touch with.
So actually, in touch with Nitoy?
No, we have parted ways already.
Okay, right. I noticed that one.
Yeah. There was this, a few issues about that, but
okay. Yeah, we don't have to talk about it.
Yeah. It's like it happens to everybody.
Of course. Oh yeah. I know.
So anyway, I got in touch with Benji. Benji still plays the drums.
Mm-hmm.
And guess who's playing the bass for me?
Wait. I gotta. Wait, bass. Louis?
No,
not Louis Talan. You're not bringing him back to life. Yeah, because he's semi-retired, kinda.
Talaga? Really?
Well, he took a break.
Okay.
He's on a break. I have no idea.
Okay. I'll tell you.
Okay.
He's a drummer too. It's Paulo Manuel.
Oh, really? He plays bass? Oh,
he plays bass.
No, I think I've seen him play
he's
bass.
a multi-instrumentalist. He plays the keyboards.
Yeah.
He plays the keyboards too, And it turned out to be a really convenient, member because, like sometimes Benji plays sessions with other bands.
Yeah.
So I designate Paolo to play the drums. And then my only problem now is to come up with a bass player.
Yeah.
Anyway, have you been to Roadhouse?
No, I've never been.
Okay, the sound engineer, the sound technician there can play the bass. His name is he's from my own province. We came from the same province, Sorsogon. So we sort of relate to each other, and he plays the guitar really well, and he plays the bass. His name is Nono. So I got some people. I get to juggle them whenever it's necessary. So technically, it's Benji on drums and Paolo on the bass.
On the bass.
Edwin Aguilar is no longer with the Jerks.
Okay.
Yeah.
And do you have songs?
So it's just
do you have new songs?
Slowly. I have a few songs written, but not really. I used to be a strict writer. I write several songs. Come up with 3 of them or 4 of them. But At this time, probably it's a psychological. What do you call that?
Drought.
Mindset of the pandemic or something like that.
Oh, right.
It's really stressful nowadays. So anyway,
Yeah.
but actually, you can come up with, like songs, but really mostly, like sad songs probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not a very good time.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is also an opportunity, I think, if you will look at it in a perspective of writing, because writing can be, on any. It doesn't have any particular. It doesn't have any preference on any particular time of year. Like whether it is during wartime or like. Songs can really come up when they want to come up.
Right. Yes. Yeah.
So I'm just sort of like trying to wait something like that.
What you're doing right now is like me rearranging my stereo so I can pick up WXB 102 in my room.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're
Okay.
just rearranging your frequency.
It's like trying to what do you call that? Trying to
Fine tune.
pass the time.
Oh, past the time.
Yeah, and I wait for things to happen or something like that.
Well, yeah.
But,
I mean,
but it's still the concern, because like me, I still have to earn, So my wife and I, so we were thinking of something what we can do, because we have yet to go back to the bars, performances,
Yeah.
So actually, I'm planning to go online, but it's just a matter of the technology has to be really available, and Cookie Chua is already doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's doing it. She is doing it very regularly.
Oh,
Okay. So, but I'm planning to do it too. But
Nice.
I hope I can come up with just an acoustic and me. Because it's so hard to put the band together again. And,
Yeah.
But there are some places
it's too hard for now.
Yeah. Especially here in the Philippines, we're having a surge actually.
Yeah.
Because of that ill-advised decision that the government made, that they want to open the economy and all that stuff, but they haven't done anything.
Yeah, they haven't done anything to counter.
To counter the, we have barely started the vaccinations and all that stuff, and they were trying to force the people to, really accept the China-made vaccine, which is
suspect.
It has a very bad reputation when it comes to things like that, So people are really hesitant, and there are people who are opting not to be vaccinated because they were waiting for some opportunity that like good vaccines might come up.
Yeah, I think once the I should say Western countries get complete their vaccination things, because there's gonna be a lot of extra vaccines. That's when they're gonna probably distribute that to other, to more to less, countries.
Yeah. The bad thing is, like the Philippines is at the bottom of
oh my God,
everybody.
The bottom of
we're
the
at
list.
The bottom, like that. The response was really idiotic,
Really.
Yeah. The government is so distracted, like every criticism, like they make patol on everybody instead of focusing on the pandemic.
Yeah, and if they actually did their job, people would stop complaining about it.
Yeah. Vietnam did it.
Yes.
Vietnam did it.
Taiwan did it. New Zealand did it.
New Zealand,
Australia.
So it's like common sense. It's all common sense.
It's all
Actually,
common sense. It's all common sense. And then the ego gets in the way.
Yeah. It's all posturings, like it's this government is a poser.
Oh,
What we call a poser.
That is the perfect definition.
Yeah, it's a poser.
It's a poser, yeah.
Yeah. But no substance at all.
So anyway, before we end, let's remind people of that single that's coming out. The two first singles of the Jerks.
Yeah, please watch out for that. We come up with some arrangement with some people, really good people. We're gonna come up with an EP on vinyl.
Nice.
So watch out for that. The Jerks, the early songs of the Jerks, and
so excited.
something new. Something new.
Excited.
Yeah.
Oh my God. That's great.
So
man.
watch out
really
for that.
Great.
Okay.
That's really great.
I'm actually watching out for it too, because I haven't seen the vinyl record for quite some time, and it's gonna be for the Jerks at that. So that's quite exciting.
It's gonna be great, man.
Yeah.
Is there a timeline for this?
I think they're past the mixing. They mixed it already, so probably the process of transfer. Yeah, I guess.
Wow.
I think the process. It's the process of transferring. The recorded songs to the vinyl.
Oh, to the vinyl. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know how it goes. That's
it's the master.
again.
It's the master that they make.
I think they're gonna transfer it to the master, and then they transfer it to the vinyl.
The vinyl, yeah, the master vinyl, the master copy. Oh, that's so exciting!
Yeah. It's great. Yeah.
All right, Mr. Chickoy Pura, ladies and gentlemen, this has been
thank you very much. Nice. It's been nice talking to you. I was really, I'm quite apprehensive because of my English, but. That's how you.
It's perfect, man. It's perfect, dude.
Yeah, when I get inspired, I get to talk too much.
No. I mean, the name of the show is WDRS Talk. So.
Okay. Okay.
It's like how the AM talk radio used to be.
Yeah.
It is still until now, but it's on the internet. So.
Do you know that Jamie Wilson They have also a what do you call that? A podcast.
They have a podcast.
Actually, he's scheduled to join him in one of his episodes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Jamie. That's Eli Buendia's production, I think.
Yes. Yeah. Offshore.
Yeah. Offshore. Yeah.
Offshore.
Yeah.
Big shout out to Ellie and Audrey, and they're doing a great job with offshore. More power to them.
Yeah.
And so shit, man, it's an honor. It's an honor, man.
Yeah, me too. It's been nice talking to you. With this pandemic, like the isolation really, it's terrible.
Yeah, it's nice to connect.
So,
right?
yeah, it's connection. Yeah, the connection is really, really welcome.
All right. So with that, thank you very much.
Yeah, you stay safe, man.
Stay
safe. Yeah,
Chickoy Pura of the Jerks.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wolf.
Yeah. Thank you, Chickoy.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hello to everybody there.
Thank you. Hi to Monette and your daughter.
Yeah. I'll tell them. Yeah.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Ingat.
Bye-bye. Okay.
Bye.
Thank you. Thank you.